Imagine being thrown into the deep end, literally by a group of cruel bullies, all because of the color of your skin and the quiet way you walk through the world. Now imagine the entire school watching, laughing, until the boy they tried to drown rises from the water, not as a victim, but as a weapon. This isn't just a story, it's a reckoning. If you're tired of seeing injustice swept under the rug, and you're ready for a comeback story that will chill your spine and warm your soul, then keep watching. And don't forget to subscribe, because these stories need to be told, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Malik Johnson was only 14, but had learned more about pain and survival than most grown men. Tall for his age but quiet and reserved, Malik kept to himself at Lakeside Academy, a mostly white prep school known more for swimming championships and lacrosse trophies than diversity. He had transferred mid-year after his mom landed a new job in the city, an executive position at a pharmaceutical company, the kind that raised eyebrows when her son showed up in second-hand jeans and a backpack with torn straps. The moment Malik stepped onto the school campus, eyes followed him like a ghost in a glass house. But it wasn't just curiosity, it was judgment, and from some, it was hate. Especially from 3 students who ruled the locker rooms and whispered hallways like monarchs with crowns of cruelty. Brent, the captain of the swim team, his younger cousin Cody, and the ever-grinning and ruthless Blake. Malik was quiet, yes, but that wasn't weakness. Behind his dark brown eyes burned something else, something deep, years of secret training under his grandfather, a 9th-degree black belt in Shotokan karate and former Olympic martial artist who taught him not just how to strike, but how to think, breathe, and wait. Timing is everything, Grandpa always said. Sometimes silence is your sword. Malik never raised his voice, never swung first, and never bragged. But bullies don't see restraint as strength. They see it as a target. It began with small things, accidental shoulder checks in the hall, spitballs in class, mocking his accent even though Malik spoke perfect English. Then it escalated. Malik would find his locker open, clothes soaked, his textbooks in the trash. The teachers pretended not to see. Brent's father sat on the board. But Malik kept walking, breathing, waiting, until the day at the pool, the day everything that was a Friday afternoon, and the seniors had left early for an out-of-town tournament. The gym was nearly empty, except for a few underclassmen, and the heated Olympic-sized pool echoed with laughter. Malik had stayed behind to use the library, but was lured into the gym by an announcement that his lost gym shoes had been found. The moment he entered the pool area, the trap sprang shut. Brent, Cody, and Blake stood at the deep end, fake smiles plastered across their faces. "Hey Malik, you forgot these," Brent said, holding up a pair of black sneakers that weren't even Malik's. "Come get 'em." Malik hesitated, sensing something off, but walked slowly toward them. Suddenly, Blake kicked a bench behind him, and Cody shoved Malik hard toward the edge. "Don't worry, bro, we just want to see if you float." They grabbed him, laughing like hyenas, and with a final heave, Brent hurled Malik into the water. The world went silent. Chlorinated waves surrounded him, and Malik sank like a stone. For a few seconds, everything stilled. They thought he couldn't swim. They assumed he'd panic. But they didn't know Malik had trained in underwater endurance drills since he was 7, could hold his breath for over 3 minutes, could move with the precision of a dolphin and the patience of a monk. Still, he let his body drift downward. Let the bubbles escape. Let them laugh above him. Because he had just made a decision. This wouldn't end like they thought. When Malik broke the surface a moment later, it wasn't with coughing or panic, but with the slow, deliberate breath of someone reborn. He climbed out silently. The bullies froze. "You're dead, freak," Brent muttered, stepping forward. But Malik didn't flinch. "No," Malik said calmly. "I'm very much alive." The first blow came so fast, Cody didn't even see it. A spinning heel kick sent him sprawling across the pool deck. Blake charged, swinging wildly, but Malik ducked, grabbed his wrist, and flipped him over his back into the pool. Brent, stunned, took a step back. "What the hell are you?" he gasped. Malik didn't answer. He simply stared, calm, focused. And that's when the gym doors burst open. Coach Daniels stormed in, whistle around his neck, clearly having heard the noise. Brent immediately started his lies. "He attacked us, coach, he's crazy, he just started swinging." But the security cameras had caught it all. Malik said nothing as the coach reviewed the footage. And then Daniels' face changed. Slowly, Coach turned toward the boys. "Get dressed," he said coldly. "Principal's office, now." Still dripping and bruised, the three bullies scrambled away, their confidence shattered. But that was just the beginning. News of the incident spread through the school like wildfire. But instead of gossip, it sparked something else: questions, admiration, and ultimately, justice. One by one, other students began sharing their stories of bullying at the hands of Brent and his gang. Principal Alvarez, backed into a corner by mounting complaints and camera evidence, had no choice but to suspend the trio indefinitely. Malik didn't celebrate. He remained composed, focusing on his studies and his training. But when the school asked him to demonstrate self-defense techniques during an assembly, he agreed. That day, in front of the entire school, Malik moved like water, like wind, like power. Even the teachers stared in awe. And in the back of the gym, a man in a black jacket watched carefully. His name was Hiroshi Tanaka, a world-renowned martial arts master and recruiter for international youth tournaments. He approached Malik after the assembly and handed him a card. "I've seen thousands of fighters," he said. "But what you carry inside, that balance of discipline and fire, I've only seen in champions." Malik's journey was about to take a turn no one expected. 1 year later, Malik stood on a global stage in Tokyo, wearing a black GI with the American flag on the sleeve and a crowd of thousands watching. Brent, Cody, and Blake, they were long forgotten. Their lives had taken separate paths. Cody expelled, Blake in therapy. Brent under investigation after a second bullying complaint ended in serious injury. But Malik was focused on the present. Each time he bowed to his opponent, he remembered what it meant to be underestimated. Each block, each strike, was a silent answer to every time he had been ignored, insulted, drowned in hatred. And then, in the final match, with cameras flashing and his grandfather watching proudly from the stands, Malik landed a flawless tornado kick that sealed his victory and his legend. The crowd exploded, but Malik didn't grin. He simply bowed. Calm, balanced, powerful. The boy they tried to drown had become the wave. Back home, Lakeside Academy renamed its gym after him. The students spoke of him like myth. And younger kids learned from his story, not just about martial arts, but about silence, patience, and never letting cruelty define your worth. Malik later created a non-profit teaching self-defense to bullied youth across the country, especially black kids in schools like the one that tried to break him. He told them what his grandfather told him: your strength isn't just in your fists. It's in your mind, it's in your silence, and it's in the way you rise.